Ever feel like your workout and diet just stop working no matter how hard you stick to the plan? And then on top of that, you get yourself an injury. Let's talk about it. That literally happened to me. Last week, I finished a hernia surgery on my lower right side. It's called an inguinal hernia surgery. It just happens to the best of us. I actually think I did it by doing the ab wheel too many times per week and for too long on the stretched out position, and was like a level 1 out of 5 on the hernia scale. With my great crowd health insurance, I decided to preemptively take care of that before it became a problem. Recovery is more like a 3-week recovery. I'm having to now game plan how to get out of this slump I will be in, but I also want to change up the plan from things I was doing that I think will amplify me getting to the next stage of where I want to be with putting on more muscle, being a little bit leaner, and just doing a little bit different biohacking stuff that I want to test new theories on. I'll be talking about pushing past plateaus, dialing up protein, restructuring my meals, adding certain high intensity type trainings. I also wanted to talk about different biohacks like red light therapy and glutathione that I've just recently discovered. If you're interested, stay tuned. So I keep talking about my SKOOL community that I'm on, and I've grown into about 100 members. And I'm really trying to help out the over 40 crowd, putting a platform out there that's better than Facebook groups. I really love this SKOOL setup. Having any type of discussion, if you can look at the tabs here, from general discussion to focusing on diet, movement, inflammation, stress, sleep, social life. And then I put my podcast episodes on here as well to make it an all-in-one episode. People comment, I answer questions daily. So this is just where I'm spending my time. On my calendar right here, if you look at the tabs up here, I throw in coffee chats every now and then just to have fun. I started doing more office hours. So I'm trying to hold these every other week, every 3 weeks, depending on the amount of people coming on. This is personal training, more in a group setting, but right now with how many people are coming on, it's a little more semi-private. Right now, my SKOOL cost is $20 a month, but if you pay for the year, you can get it down to like about $15 a month. And besides the access to me daily, you have video chat with office hours through Zoom every other week. And for some of you coming in, give me your schedule, give me your times, and I'll start throwing in something that works for you, knowing that other people might join as well. But right now, we're not that packed. You might even get one-on-one sessions with me. This is just something I really enjoy doing. I really want to build this up. And when I need to, I'll just start opening more office hours, more help, whatever anyone needs, and we'll just grow from there. So once again, check out the show notes for the link, or if you just Google Over 40 Fitness Hacks SKOOL, SKOOL, I will be the first thing that pops up on Google with the SKOOL emblem right there. And you can sign up that way. Check us out. Hope to see you there. So here's my update. Post-hernia surgery, as I said in the intro. Not that that's an excuse of why I haven't reached any of my goals. It's just I'm using this time to change course and do something different, because my last style of just hitting 180 to 200 grams of protein in 2 meals, using digestive enzymes to help, really cranking in that intermittent fasting timing windows, has just done great. The best I've gotten is 185, and I've thrown my picture up on social media and YouTube. I think I was 186 when I got that best shot. Without the help of glutathione, it's a supplement, antioxidant supplement that really helps rev up your liver, helps produce more ATP in the body, just helps produce more caloric expenditure. And I'm seeing that on my Whoop. As you can see here, right at the height of May is when I started taking glutathione, and I chose to take the supplement of using LifeWave patches, where you patch it and it uses phototherapy to stimulate your own glutathione. It takes time, and here you go. It shows that it did take time, and by the end of the 3 months, 90 days, that was the height of the most caloric expenditure I was getting for doing the exact same routine. Remember, I've not changed my routine in so long, which actually ends up negatively affecting you. I do 3 days a week in the gym, all half-hour sessions. I watch the time and I get out. I just do time under tension, effective reps, and circuit training. I just go, go, go. No resting between sets. I do full body workouts. On Tuesday and Thursday, I do more physical therapy and a little bit of rebounding. Every day I try to do a walk, either 1 to 2 mile walk, 7 days a week. And then I'm supposed to be doing high intensity training on my trampoline. It's just the easiest for my back. And what I do is I put a weight vest on, hold 3-pound dumbbells while I run, a band around my knees, and I wear oxygen deprivation masks, shock the body. I have not been doing that. So what I think is, between the glutathione, as you can see, the next 3-4 months after the height of when I stopped taking glutathione, everything started tanking down. And I'm seeing that the same exercise, the same gym, the same walks, doesn't matter how hard I make it going up hills, My heart rate never gets past zone 2 ever now. So you're a victim of your own success. And I'm unwilling to change and do something new, which probably would kick up my heart rate, kick up these calories. And so that's a decision you have to make. I feel like I need to get my heart rate going a little bit more, either changing my diet or doing something. I could do boxing, Pilates, yoga, and I bet you I'd be in zone 4 heart rate. I just can't stand any of this. I'm basically at the point where I just had hernia surgery. I'm out of the game for 2-3 weeks now. I thought it was going to be a lot quicker. It's not. So I'm going to lose a little bit of muscle mass, but I've been playing around with the idea of changing up my diet anyways. Right now, I do 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. I try to get 200 grams of protein in here. As you can see this day, I stopped short at 1,400. I did have a few more snacks, so I did hit probably 1,500-1,600 calories. And normally I wouldn't go that low, but because I'm not burning as much per day, I have to be in the calorie deficit to lose weight. And the problem is, and I've talked about this before on my podcast, I'm 6'1", around 190, can get down to 185 like I mentioned at my best. And this is all with having a social life. For me, it's drinking, as a lot of my audience knows, and I'm unwilling to give that up. So these are all the different hacks I have to do to try to beat this. The problem is, for my size and body, anytime I go under 2,000, 1,800 calories, I start getting lethargic. My energy is trash. My hormones are garbage. Libido goes out the door. So I have to keep it close to 1,800, 2,000 would be the best. My average now that I've been doing right here at the tail end is 2,000 calories. So I can't really lose weight in this situation without dipping down to about 1,500 calories. So one, I need to increase my expenditure, caloric expenditure, and I could start paying for glutathione again and crank it back up. But my goal is to really just get back on this high intensity once a week session. And the reason you do that is it's the best way. High intensity interval training, short burst, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off of any type of exercise. So like I said, I picked the rebounder to boost your mitochondrial count. And that's something I've been lacking on the last 3 months between the glutathione and that, plus the fact that I refuse to change any of my workouts. It's the same routine, the same walks up the same hills or next to my parents' house. So before we get into my plan, I just want to throw out there that I threw this in because I had this person on my podcast. And I've talked about benefits of red light therapy before, and this will be the second person that's been on my show. But this trifecta light looks like a tanning bed, red light therapy. I wanted to do this before I changed anything else. I found one near me, wanted to give it a try, and actually got a great deal, $200 for unlimited sessions. Using ChatGPT, I've put it against some other products that I've had on my show, and this trifecta tanning bed is like next level medical grade red lights. And some of the other things out there just don't even have the power capabilities that this one has. So I was real excited about that. I compared it to a few other things, like I mentioned, and even ChatGPT mentioned if I wanted to make this myself, this Mito Adapt red light company makes their own panels that come very close to these medical grade panels used in the trifecta light. And my whole thing was, okay, why am I going to pay for all these sessions when for $1,500 to $3,000, I can make one at my own house with as much power as that medical grade. So that was my thought process. And as you can see, I started designing how I would even get these panels to where I could sit in a chair and get the benefits of all this, and kind of ended up with a design like this where you could tilt. And it turned out I needed a longer panel to make this work, which is why it ended up being $1,500 to $3,000. Going back to this trifecta light, this was a perfect deal, $200. 13 sessions. I finished this Friday, so I'm on session 12 on Wednesday. It just gave me insight into red light. The guy I had on my show said 6 sessions is all you need to be sold on this. A lot of his clients have a lot of problems, autoimmune disease, heart issues. The older you are, the more results you'll see. So a little hard for a little biohacker like me. I'm 45, but I've been a personal trainer my whole life, super healthy. But just to see a smidgen of help, I'd be sold. And so right here on my Google Drive, I set up any help with my lower back pain. I have some arm nerve issues while sleeping, so you need to extend your arms. It happens to a lot of us over 40 people. But when you extend your arms, you relieve that the nerve that goes into your radial ulna area. I wanted to see if that would help out with it. I have a little pinch in my thoracic portion of my spine, just from it being locked up. My chiropractor's always trying to get some motion in there. I put my knees are sus, that they don't hurt. They're just starting to feel not as strong in my older age as they used to. Plus, I don't lift heavy. I do more time under tension. But it's just, I don't think the muscles around my knee are as strong as they used to be. So I was like, let's see what happens with that. And then I have a liver spots blemish on my cheek here, a stomach scar where I burned myself with a little frying pan back in my 20s. Red light's supposed to be great for hair. I've got a little thinning on my crown, but I've pretty much been taking care of that with some oral minoxidil. So I can't really credit red light for that. Since losing so much weight this last year, I got a little bit of loose skin under my chin. And then I put chicken skin on my arm. So the little bumps that you get here, and it's folliculitis, but the funny term is chicken skin. So I just put all these things on to see what red light would do. And I wanted to give this a try before I started my new program that I'm going to tell you in a second. No help on low back. The arm nerve sleeping, maybe it's helped. I haven't felt that in a while, so that might have had something. My thoracic still has a pinch in it. Yeah, my knees still feel like they're not as strong, so they're still a little sus. I don't have any help with the loose skin on my neck. I can't give any credit for the hair on my crown because that's all going to minoxidil. And the stomach spot scar is still there. Bumps are on my arm. So really the only thing I can give it after these 6 sessions, and I've done 11 now, is maybe I've gotten some help with my arm nerves giving me issues while I sleep. So the only thing to mention is my mom, who's 80, has been going with me as well. She has had no results up until last week. She mentioned that she finally thought she was losing some weight around her midsection. And then we went this last Monday, and even today she says, I think I'm losing weight finally. So we'll see what happens with that. She might actually go for another month, and I'll keep you guys updated. But for me, there's lots of research on it. I just don't think I need it personally. There's probably other stuff I should be using, and I'll touch on that at the end of this. So back to my new game plan, what I'm going to be doing. Because I'm pretty close to my goal weight at this point, I can't really go below 2,000 calories. If I split these meals to 3 different meals, chance for protein assimilation, which for doing that, I'm thinking of bumping up from 180 to 200 to more 225, 250, and still using real meat because I mentioned before, I'm allergic to milk protein, so I can't take whey, which is the most bioavailable. So I used to use pea protein isolate, and from switching from pea protein to straight animal meat, next level, the amount of muscle I can hold on my body. So that just tells you that pea protein, at least for me, is not as bioavailable as they say. So my goal is that I need 3 meals. My first meal at 11, fruit, salad, lots of meat. I was trying to hit 80 to 100 grams. Maybe I can tone that down more to 50, 60. And then put a lunch back in probably around 2, 3 p.m. And then my dinner back at 6, 7 p.m. And I've discovered that I can eat a big bowl of salad at dinner time if you have the right dressing that you love, which I love this ginger dressing right here, Makoto. I can get it at Vons. I can get it at Whole Foods, Sprouts. It is like crack. So if you have trouble eating vegetables, get some of this, and I'm telling you, it'll make you want to eat more. So back to here, I'm thinking of putting my dinner heavy on the meat, any carbohydrates, fats, push that to more my lunch. And for dinner, trying to get away with just a big salad with dressing that you like, and then finishing up with some kind of lean protein. So I want to start finishing out the night with the Mediterranean diet. So it has to be fish. I can do lean chicken only, calamari, scallops. I've been getting this stuff from Costco, this lump crab meat in a can, and it's just unreal. You just have to eat it within 48 hours once you open it. But this kind of makes it a little bit more fun. I can have 3 meals a day now. So I'm losing a little bit of the autophagy of eating less frequently in a tighter 6-hour schedule, having the 18-hour fast. But I already do once a month, 36-hour fast, or even a 48 hours. I just did a 48-hour fast prior to my hernia surgery. So it was about that time for my monthly clean out. So if I'm already getting real heavy autophagy once a month that way, then I can play a little bit more with my daily intermittent fast, because I feel like getting my protein up is just going to increase my thermogenesis of breaking down that protein. And plus, if I'm unwilling to change my routine and add more weight training, do something different for cardio to beef up that caloric expenditure, what I'm hoping is that that excess protein will put on a little bit more muscle and will just give me that higher BMR without doing anything else. Then later, if I really want to juice it up and get to 3,000 calories burns a day, I know how to do it. My brother plays volleyball, and we've used him on a whoop, and he's gotten up as high as 6,000 calories in one day because he literally plays volleyball for 6 hours. If you want to put in that kind of time, you can get those calories, but what it does to your body is a different story. And just a quick mention before I wrap this up, the best thing I've seen on this Whoop device has been these glutathione patches from this company, LifeWave. And basically it's just these patches that use phototherapy to trick your body into stimulating peptides that create something like glutathione, which is a peptide, but they have other ones that help build stem cells in your body. So they trigger a peptide within you that creates more stem cells. I just don't know the name of that particular one. That one, I believe it's called the X39, but I don't know the peptide that stimulates your stem cells. This glutathione one is next level. It's cheaper than other products I've used for glutathione. It's about $50 a month once you get this on a monthly subscription. And if you're interested, I'll put a link in my show notes for this one. But I don't want to go back to this until I can beat my current predicament, because the best thing is doing all these biohacking tips and getting successes. And then at the end, when I'm ready, I can throw everything together and sky's the limit. So that's my current update right now with my injuries, what I'm going to be doing for the next few months. I have a bunch of other supplements I wanted to try, and I got some of these companies to send them to me, but I want to take a break from trying out a new supplement every month to see if this new theory of mine works. That's the beauty of health and fitness, especially if you're just looking to lose weight, just say for simplicity, is there is a million ways to cut the cake on that one, whether it be through diet, exercise, supplements, different hacks like I talk about all the time. And so really, it's all about testing things out, changing direction, staying excited and engaged in your health and fitness, or else you're just going to keep pushing it off to the next day. So besides having a trainer or a community like I have over 40 fitness hacks on SKOOL, having a fitness tracker at this day and age is just a must. So for someone who's thinking about getting a personal trainer or even training with someone like me, I would rather them spend their first month or first couple months and purchase something like this, the Whoop, the Garmin. An Apple Watch is a little bit more, but I've tested between the Whoop and the Apple Watch, and they seem pretty dead on as far as accuracy. When you get to our age, the same old tricks that worked in our 20s just aren't going to work anymore. You need to be dieting and exercising in live time, like per day, not just let's see how a week or a month goes and then adjusting. No, you need to be doing it daily. That's the only way to win now. I think I'll wrap it with that. Check out the links in my show notes for everything we talked about. Thanks for listening. If you ever have any questions or podcast episode ideas, I'm always looking for some new material. Just shoot me an email. I'll catch you on the next one.